Hi everyone and welcome back to Gina C Creates. Today I'm going to show you how to make these cute Halloween spinner cards with your Cricut. Here are a few supplies you'll need to get started. Along with your Cricut, you'll need your printer because we are going to print out our characters. And you'll need some white cardstock. If you want to make all 3 cards, you'll need 3 sheets of white cardstock. And then you'll need an extra sheet for your printing. And then I have some black glitter cardstock for our frame. And then for the insert, I'm just going to be using these 3 colors. You can only need 1 color if you want to do just 1 card. So it's just up to you. And then we're going to use some glue, some tape, and some string. And then you'll need a standard grip or light grip mat. You could get my Halloween spinner card bundle on ginacreates.com. Depending if you follow me or not, it is available right now as a freebie for 5 days only. After that, it'll be available in my shop. So after you unzip the folder, you will find my license inside along with the template. And then it will have the SVG file, the PNG, EPS, and the DFX. For this tutorial, we're going to use the SVG. If you're on a Windows PC, it might display as a HTML document with the internet icon. But we're still going to use that because it's the SVG. Your computer just doesn't know what program to open it with. And then in another folder, you will find all the Halloween characters for the spinners, and each card has 2 and they are mirrored so they can fit back to back. Now we're just going to close out this folder and we're going to open up Cricut Design Space, and we're going to go to upload and hit browse, and we'll find that downloads folder, and inside we'll go to the card template folder, and then we're going to select the SVG. Remember, it might be displayed with an internet icon. Just go ahead and upload that file and it will save as a cut image with all the layers. So let's just add it to our canvas and make sure it's the correct size, because sometimes Design Space doesn't always upload it correctly. So this template should be 10 inches in width. And then we are going to right click and ungroup our SVG, and then we are going to select each layer. Now we can move these out of the way and see what we're working with here. You should have 3 layers total. You have the round oval for the insert, and then we have our black frame, and then we have the white card base. And you can see that there is a cut line. We're going to have to change this to a score line. So go ahead and select it in the layers panel to the right. Go up to operation and hit score. And then we're going to select the group, which is going to select both layers, and hit attach. And now it will score on top of our base of our card. And then we're just going to bring this to the front. And now we can see how our card is going to look. You can change the colors to personalize it to your preference. And then this oval is going to go on the inside on the right hand panel. So I'm just going to put it behind to see how it looks. But first, let's add our characters. I'm going to start with the cat, and we're just going to upload it as a complex image. And the background is already removed because it's a PNG, and we're just going to save it as a print and cut. So all you have to do is save it to your library and then add them to your canvas. And images always upload really big, so I am going to size these to 2.5 in height. So you're going to come up here to the size and make sure your lock icon is on. And in the height, we're just going to change it to 2.5. And make sure we do that to both of those. So I'm just going to finish uploading the rest of my Halloween characters. And we just save them as a complex image. and a print and cut image and get those all uploaded to your library. And once you have all the files in, we can add each character at a time to our canvas. So I'm going to add the ghost, and we're just going to do the same thing, come up to the height and change it to 2.5. And these will fit perfectly inside our oval frame. And the same with the jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. We're just going to size it to 2.5 in height. And now to make the 3 cards, we can select the 3 layers that are on the base of the card, and we're going to hit duplicate. So we're just creating another set to make. So I duplicated it twice, and then now I'm just going to place these to the front so I can see how my card is going to look along with the colors that I chose. So I want to change my jack-o'-lantern one. So I'm going to select the oval shape and change it to like a blue-green. And then I'm going to change the cat to like a lavender. And then I'm pretty happy with how these look. So I'm going to hit make it. And then we have our print and cut. We have our base. And then our frames, I'm going to make sure I change it to 8.5 by 11 size material, so I could get these 3 to fit and not have them get cut off. We're going to start with the print and cut page first, so we're going to leave the bleed on and use system dialog so we could go to our printer settings and change the quality to high. If you're using a different paper, make sure you select what type of paper you're printing on. And then I'm just going to clean my mat with my scraper to make sure that it is clear of debris, so when we are cutting our cardstock, we won't have any snags or tears. So once our page is finished printing out, we're just going to lay it onto our mat, aligning it perfectly with the top left corner on the top and on the sides. And then I like to use some blue painter's tape to hold down my edges. Just because I'm using a dull mat, I don't want to really use a super sticky mat because it tends to curl your cardstock. And then now we just flip over and bend back our mat, and we use our other hand to make sure that our pieces are flat. And you can see they come out perfect, and we just line them up because this is how they're going to go on our card. And now we are going to cut out the base of our card. So make sure you load your scoring stylus in the A clamp. And then we're just going to cut this out. And it will score your card first, and then it'll cut out the rest of your shape. And we're going to remove it the same way by bending back your mat and using your other hand to hold it down in place. And then we're just going to fold it down that score line. And if you're having trouble, you can always use a straight edge and line it up and fold your score line that way to get it nice and straight. And then we are going to move on to cutting out the rest of our mats. I'm laying down the glitter cardstock, and make sure you change your dial to the custom setting using glitter cardstock. And once these are done cutting out, we can take them off the mat. Just make sure you always bend back your mat so we can keep our cardstock nice and straight. And then after cardstock, you're always going to want to clear your mat with your scraper, because you can see there's a lot of tiny debris that stays on your mat and could cause your cardstock to rip. So now we have all our pieces cut out, and we can begin to assemble. We have our 3 cards bases, and then we have our 3 frames, 3 of the inserts, and then 2 each of our 3 characters. So I'm going to put together the ghost, and we're just going to lay our frame face down along with one of our ghosts in the center. And we're going to take our piece of string and line it from top to bottom, and we're going to use our Scotch tape and cut them in small pieces so we can hold down our string on the back of the frame. And then you can cut off any extra pieces that are showing off the frame. And then we're going to do the same for the bottom. And then you can cut off any of your string. You want to make sure you cut your string longer than the frame so it's easier to manage. And then you want to get your string as tight as possible. And we're going to use some tape and glue to hold our ghost in place. So we're just going to place on the back cover, and we're just going to let that dry before we start messing with it. And then we're going to add our card insert and make sure that it is centered, so when you close your card, it covers all the white spots. So just add glue on the back of that and then close it, and you can also slide it around to make sure you have it nice and centered. And then next we're just going to add glue to our frame on the back, and we are going to place it on top of the front of our card, lining up the oval shape. And then we're just going to let that dry for a couple minutes too. And now we could see this in action. You're just going to wind up your ghost, and you can lay it flat and put it in an envelope, and then when they open it, you have your little cute Halloween spinner. And then you can just repeat the process to make your other two cards. Here's how they came out. We have our skeleton black cat, and we have our pumpkin jack-o'-lantern, and then we have our cute and scary ghost. Let me know which one is your favorite. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.